Representative Corey Harbison. Corey, big day for Republicans around the country and in Cullman. It's Inauguration Day. What do you think?
Hey, I think it's time to make America great again. I look forward to the next 4 years. I hope that some of these changes that President Trump has suggested that he's going to make, that he can actually implement, and we see some positive change across the nation to make this nation a better place.
Well, if he does 25% of what he says, it'll be successful.
Absolutely. Because, you know, a president, it's kind of like when I was mayor of Good Hope. The mayor is only as strong as his council, and that's the same with president. If he's only as strong as the Congress and Senate, you know, his power comes from within there. He may can issue some executive orders, but a lot of the stuff that he's proposing, he's going to have a vote from Congress and hopefully, you know, get it passed. So we'll see.
We'll see. Let's move it down to the state of Alabama. We had the State of the State luncheon. You just got out of that. You had a lot to say. Tell us about it.
You know, it's an exciting time. The new president, he's taken over. We all look for hope and positive change, and I hope that's the same for the state of Alabama. I know that people have been frustrated. We went into 2 regular sessions that were followed up by 2 special sessions, and I know that frustrates the public. It frustrates me as well. You know, we'll see what kind of reforms are proposed this year, but I think we can look for some pro-life legislation. I think we can look for legislation dealing with prisons. You've got Medicaid's going to be a problem. You've got mental health issues. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting session, but I hope that it ends better than the last 2.
Well, let's hope there's some practical results that you and everybody else can take home and
I hope so.
Put on the ground. Now, let's come down to Cullman County. You broke some interesting news today at lunch about redistricting. That was totally new news to me. Can you explain what's going on and what that's about? It sounds complicated, but important.
It is very important. Every 10 years, when they do a census, the legislature has to draw, they draw new district lines for the House and the Senate, and even the United States congressional seats in Alabama, they draw their districts. And what has happened, when the 2010 census was released, they drew the district lines, and the lines received a challenge from some group in the state, and a federal judge actually ruled today that the complainant in the case has some merit to the claim, and there's several districts that the lines will have to be redrawn. So we have 105 House districts across the state. So when you mess with 20 or 25 districts, it's like a puzzle. I can see it being a major change for some districts, and there's going to be a little change in almost every district.
So it's possible that one of your constituents here in Western Cullman County could be drawn out, and you wouldn't be the representative anymore.
Absolutely. If you live close to the district lines, I have Center Hill, which is very close to Representative Shedd's district. At Jones Chapel and up toward Valmont, I border Representative Henry. So, you know, it's up in the air how these districts may work. I'm one of the only representatives that has one county within the district. A lot of these guys, they at least have 2, maybe 3 counties. Representative Shedd actually has 4 counties in his district. So, you know, there's several places that I could be pulled out and split Cullman and moved into Walker or Winston County, or, you know, we really don't know what's going to happen.
And you won't know till the final report comes out, I suppose.
That is correct. And we have members of a House committee, and there's members from the Senate committee that will actually draft these boundary lines, and they'll present them to the judge. And the judge says we have one chance to get these boundary lines the way that he thinks it would be fair, or he's going to draw the lines. So, you know, these boundaries are based on population. Each House member has 40 to 50,000 constituents within the district, and they have to base it. Several factors go into the districts, and part of it would be race, part of it would be Republican versus Democrat voters, and I think the Republicans allowed for a 1% change in party, where in the past it had been a 3%, and they've always won any challenge when the lines have been drawn. So that's going to be the problem. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Indeed, it will. When do we think we'll know the final verdict?
I would imagine sometime probably after this coming session.
Gotcha. Well, Corey, I know you've got a new session coming up February the 7th on a Tuesday. I wish you the best. And,
Thank you.
I think everybody, Cullman County would like to see you do well down there.
I appreciate it. I'm proud to represent Cullman, and if there's ever anything I can do for any of y'all, please feel free to reach out to me.